right, we are beginning a new unit. This unit has to do with patterns and equations. So we're going to look at calendars and tables and determine patterns and what you might see as a pattern occurring, how to describe those patterns, and then we'll move into equations. All right, so to begin with, here we're looking at a hundreds chart. We're going to be describing the patterns found in charts. You can describe patterns in different ways. Usually we use pattern rules as one of the most common ways to describe a pattern. Here we're going to see we have 2 in our table, and then 5, and then 8, and then 11, and 14, and we can see that we're highlighting every third number, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. But we're starting at 2, which makes it a little odd because we're going 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So starting at 2, we're adding 3 every time to get our colored square. That would be the rule we would use to describe this pattern. We can see, yeah, we are going 1 down and over every time. Let's go back. The other way we could describe this rule is we could say that you start at the 2 and then diagonally you colored in the squares. So every square is 1 diagonal down and left. Let's go back and see that. And we can see that those first numbers in the pattern are 2, 5, 8, and so on. And as we basically already said and noticed, we were coloring every third one. So we're starting at 2 and we're counting by 3s or adding 3 each time. And as you notice again, we're going diagonally 1 down and 1 left each time. If we were to continue our pattern, we could continue to add by 3s, and we wouldn't necessarily even need our table anymore. Our table could be there to assist us, but it's not necessary. All right, now it's your turn to try a few. Knowing what you know about the hundreds chart and the patterns that you see in it, if we were going along a row, we would have 14, 15, 16, 17, it would continue, and then in our 20s row we would have, of course, 20, 21, 22, 23, I'm running out of room. Right here, of course, would be 24, 25, 26, 27, and so on. So you're going to use the information that you know about the patterns that we see in a table to fill in all of these missing numbers. So go ahead and press pause and try to do that now with these patterns that we have here. Press pause and give it a try. All right, again, we're looking at the tens row here. So we would have 12, next we would have 13 and 14. In our row below it, we would have the 20s, and remember it would be directly below. So this would be then 22, 23, 24, 30s below that, 32, 33, 34, and so on. The 50s, let's take a look here. 53 and 54 would be between 53 and 55. Below the 50s, we would have the 60s. So 63, 64, 65. And below that, we have the 70s. 73, 74, 75. Last one, a little tricky because our very first block is empty, so that means we have to look back. Okay, we've got 38. What's in front of 38? Well, 37. And in front of 37, 36. Next row should be a little bit easier because we know we have the 30s. Now we need the 40s. 46, 47 is there, and 48. Below that, we would have to have the 50s. 56 is given, 57, and 58. All right, now we're going to try to look at a hundreds chart and look at the rows. Oops, sorry, thought I had my pen on. The entire rows to fill in what's missing here. We are looking for the missing elements, and in this case we're looking for the row elements or the column elements. The row would be across and columns run down. So go ahead and press pause and fill in the spaces below. All right, so with the first one, we're looking at the 60s row. Those boxes are a little small for me to write in with my iPad pen, so I'm going to write above 61, then we'd have 62, 63, 64 is there, 65, 66, 67, and whoops, 68. That would be our 60s row. Now looking at our tens row, we have 13, so we're going to have to count backwards here, 12 and 11. After 13 we have 14 and 15, 16 is given, 17 and 18. So as you can see, based on the information that's in the table, we can usually use some kind of a rule to describe the pattern that we see is happening there. And we can use the information we know about what's happening in the table to fill in missing numbers. You're going to go on to Math Makes Sense, page 8 and 9, numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Remember when you're finished to check them and then show me before you move on to your exit slip.